Hello everybody, Gavin McCormack here. Welcome to this week on our social scenario series. Now, during the next 10 weeks, we are going to be asking you to put yourself in somebody else's shoes, to think about what the world would look like if you were looking at it through somebody else's eyes. Now, yes, everybody attending this course this week is a child. You may be in primary school, you may be in secondary school, you may be in tertiary education, but one of the most fundamental developments for all of us out there is to be able to make decisions. Decisions that are not just based on our perspective, but decisions that are based on a multitude of perspectives. People that we haven't seen, people that we haven't met, people who might be different ages to us, different cultures, religions, or even fictional people. Now this week, we want you to pretend that you are a CEO, a Chief Executive Officer. That is the big boss in an organization, the head honcho, somebody who makes all the decisions. Now, this kind of person has to make decisions with everybody else's perspective in mind. How will the decision that you are going to make this week affect the people around you? Now, this week, you're the CEO of an organization who has lots and lots of land all around the world. Now, your primary resource is trees. What you do in your organization is you harvest trees, you harvest fruit, and you harvest crops, but you do not destroy the environment. You are a very good organization. You're a very good boss with good workers and a good reputation. However, a new organization is about to come into your office and knock on the door with an offer which may be very hard to refuse. Now, one piece of land that you have is down in South Georgia, which is an island just in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, just before we get to Antarctica. It is prime real estate for wildlife. Penguins, killer whales, blue whales, you name it, they all live here. Now, an organization comes and knocks on your door as the CEO and tells you that they have done some scans and they've looked beneath the ground, and there is lithium, a rare commodity, a very valuable commodity used in the batteries of many, many electrical objects that we use today. Now, they're willing to give you $100 million if they can take your land, they can cut down the trees, and they can mine a big hole in the ground to take that lithium out. Now, what I haven't told you is that this area is filled with wildlife, including the king penguins. Hundreds of thousands of them have lived there for many, many years. Now, obviously, selling this bit of land and allowing another company to mine it is going to have consequences on many people's lives. And this week, we want you to think about 3 different perspectives before you make your decision. Will you sell the land to the new mining company, or will you keep the land? Now, the first perspective you have to consider is the perspective of the workers for your organization. If, yes, you mine the land, then there will be more jobs. People will be employed to come to South Georgia to do the mining. There'll be money, there'll be jobs, there'll be wealth, there'll be growth. It will be fantastic for these workers. Number 2, your perspective is the shareholders. And the shareholders are the people who have invested in your company. They put money in, and what they're wanting are profits, because when you make money, they make money. Now, you're going to have to tell them your decision and why. Will you mine the land and make them lots of money, or will you say no to mining the land and your shareholders will lose money? And the third perspective you need to consider this week is the perspective of the penguins. How will the penguins feel if you destroy their habitat, take away their home, and leave them nowhere else to breed, live, and feed? I mean, this is a very difficult decision for you to make, but this is a social scenario. And you have to think about what you would do in that circumstance. Because as you get older and as you grow into a position of leadership, either in your family or in your work or even in politics, if you were to become the Prime Minister one day, you will have to make very difficult decisions. Now, we want you to go away in your teams, in your groups, in your pairs, and consider all 3 perspectives. What will the workers feel? What will the shareholders feel? And what will the penguins feel? And you have to decide on what you are going to do to make everybody happy. If you mine the land, well, you take away the home of the penguins. If you don't mine the land, there are no jobs and your shareholders do not get the profits that they are expecting. So, how can you make everybody happy? This is this week's social scenario. It's not easy, but you have to make a decision. Now follow the process below, work through the task cards, have a great discussion, and then when you made your decision, announce it to your class and see what everybody else thinks. You never know. You might have to use these skills one day in the future, and they will come in very, very handy indeed. Good luck, and see you next time.